What's up, guys? Welcome back to Planet Zoo, and today we're going to be working on the trophy for natural selection, which is this one. Have an animal in your zoo with a genetic makeup of over 90% in all categories. So this is quite a lengthy trophy, and it's probably done best sort of like end game when you've got a lot of time and a bit of patience to do this. So I've done this in two sort of stages. The first stage is building a zoo just for breeding, which I will show you in a minute, and then this is my second zoo, which I've built specifically now to start narrowing down the pool to find the final sort of tunes to get the right pair to start breeding for high percentage animals. So I've done a very simple zoo here. This is going to be my main sort of area where I'm going to kind of pitch the animals together. I can then move them into a breeding one, and then start separating further and further. And this one here is going to be for anything I don't want, just to kind of grow, and then I can release into the wild, and I can do these sort of three, just allow the ones that I don't want, just to get them extra points back or money back, whatever I need. So let's go and see the other zoo that I have been working on. Okay, so this is my other zoo that I've been working on, and this is kind of mass produced. I've been trying a few different ones. Warthogs, ostrich, and you can see they are pretty overcrowded. More ostrich, and over here kind of peafowl. Working on these as well, just to see if these will work. But I've decided that ostrich is going to be kind of the way to go, and with this I can now start like seeing what I've got when it comes to decent sort of stats, and I can see that also from the animals tabs. So if I go into animals here and just do it like by common ostrich, I can start seeing here on the right hand side what sort of stats I've got that are good, and start hand selecting them and moving them to the trade centre. So that's got a fairly decent one, so do you know what, I could move that to the trade centre. That's not bad. I'm looking for ones with hundreds, like 1-200s, or very good stats like that, and these are the sort of ones that I can go, yes, I'm going to put them into the trade centre, and start looking at moving them. That one's a really good one. That one's not a bad one either. And don't forget, you can only select up to 10. That's a pretty good one. That's a very strong one. So what I can do is I can send them to the trade centre, which will allow me then to take that back into the next one. But this is literally just a mass sort of breeding zoo. What you decide to breed is yours, your decision. Do you want to do warthogs? Do you want to do peafowls? Do you want to do ostrich? There is plenty of animals that you can choose from, and you want to kind of do the ones that breed quickly, and are pretty cheap to raise as well. You don't want to be choosing like lions and stuff like that, not for this trophy at least anyway, unless that's what you really kind of want to focus on. But you can do animals that are just one-on-one as well, so there's some animals that will only have one male and one female in at any one time. Those I presume wouldn't be as efficient as doing it the way I'm doing it with an animal that can have the choice of many females. So we've got a male ostrich, and can have the choice of up to 5 females at any sort of like one time. That won't affect it. With the chance of having a lot more offspring and a lot more of a percentage chance of getting that better that better animal. So this is a very simple setup, as you can see. Nothing too elaborate. It's making plenty of money, and I can switch between the two zoos constantly now, and move as I see fit. So we're going to go back to the breeding zoo now, where we're going to start fine-tuning our pairs and stuff like that. Okay, so we're back in this zoo, and as you can see, I haven't got a lot going on. But what we've got here is we've got one male, and we've got currently 3 females, but we have got a baby. So we do need to wait for the baby to mature before we get the option of being able to compare mates. But as you can see there, the female's actually got really good stats. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our male. There must be this dude over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare mates. Now, the males maybe not be, might not be the best, but he's got 2 100s, he's got a 15 and 83. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start comparing mates. Now, if you click on that, it will show you here what the sort of range of scope is going to be. Now, don't forget, we need over 90%. So mixing these two together would give us a longevity of anywhere between, I reckon that's 80 to 90%. Size would give us anywhere over 90%. But then the fertility and the immunity has got a full spectrum. So that could be, it could be a potential good one. But then if we go to city, we've got a high gene potential now for longevity and size, but then we've also got fertility and immunity with a full spectrum. So for me, what I would do is I would take Sanutra out of this situation. So where's Sanutra? That one. So what I'd do is I would move her now into another habitat, just so that he's got more opportunity to breed with city. And once these babies start maturing, we will then have more opportunity to see what is what with breeding opportunities. I also have, if I just filter this by, again, species, I have a really good sort of male that I have moved to the trade centre. So we've got that one with a really, really strong sort of set of genes, but he's also 11.2 years old, so he is coming sort of like to the end of his lifespan. What else have we got? Male. That's a rather good male, and that's an even better male. So to be fair, that one would be a perfect sort of like opportunity to pop into this third habitat here, and then maybe see how he can compare with mates as well. So we're just going to fast forward time and wait for these to arrive into the zoo. So annoyingly, the trophy has just popped for me, and I didn't get it to record. Literally, the trophy has just popped. Natural selection, as you can see there. So pairing up these mates, mass producing a lot of animals, and then hand picking the ones you want to select to breed, really is the way to do it. That way we're also not sitting on a huge amount of animals in one zoo, like the other zoo that I showed you just before, was just every pen was completely full, and every pen was overcrowded and stuff like that. So I handpicked the ones I wanted to move, put them into this one, and luckily for me, the trophy has popped pretty quickly. but separating the ones that you don't want to breed is the way to go. And if you accidentally get it by how it's happened for me, is brilliant. But let me just kind of show you again. So going into comparing mates, at the minute he's only got the option for 2, and that's the one he's clearly bred with, because she can't breed again at the minute. And sorry, that one's had a recent birth. So City was the one that must have given me the opportunity to get that. So yeah, that's the way to get the trophy. Now, it could take you a lot longer, and you might have to keep pairing up mates into different pens, and making it work that way, or you could get super lucky like I just did there, and it happens straight away. Now I need to go through the process of releasing loads of these animals, so that I can now start to gain some points back. Don't forget, guys, that if you move an animal into the trade centre, they will not age. So if you want to make these baby ones eligible for breeding, do not leave them sitting in the trade centre, because if you do, they're just never going to breed. They're just constantly going to stay babies. So put them in the trade centre by all means, to move them to another place, to another zoo. That's the beauty of the franchise. You can move them between zoos. So I could effectively take this ostrich now, pull it into the trade centre, and when I open a brand new zoo, have that ostrich already. And you can do that with kind of like any of them, so it's really good if you need a high performing sort of animal to draw crowds in. And if you want to let them grow and then move them to the trade centre so that they are ready to breed straight away, that is also the other option. But that's the basics of the trophy guide. That's it, guys. You don't. It takes time. Don't get me wrong. The mass breeding zoo I made really did take about 3 days just to keep breeding and getting really good ones, hand selecting the ones that I wanted to go with. So just be persistent, and you never know, guys, you might get really lucky and find some really cracking animals in the animal market. You can also, you can get that. You can actually filter like the minimum size. So if you wanted to start with a really good base set of like 80 across the board, or 70 across the board, you've got a really good chance. So if we close that, you can see here that actually there is capybaras there, and stuff like warthogs with really good strong stats to start with. So that is an option, or if you need to make a start, if you've got the funds, if you've got the points and stuff like that. I mean, that one's 10,000, but that's a perfect animal. That's 10,000 points. So you've got to think about that. But there is a good basis that you can have here. Really strong stats on that one as well, to do this trophy. So I hope that kind of helps you guys earn the natural selection trophy. If you need any more hints and tips, please let me know. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.